Oops, I'm muted. Okay. Hey, everybody. Can you hear me, Kristen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to get Kristen and Becky up here to do some opening announcements. So why don't you ladies just take it away? There we go. Go ahead, ladies. What do you got?
The blondes got it tonight, right?
Yes.
Debbie.
I'm sort of a blonde.
Announcements. Don't forget the monthly partner barbecue is coming up in August. Exact date to come. If you want to come to the monthly partner barbecue, which is really cool and super exclusive to monthly partners only, you need to become a monthly partner. And the way to do that is you go to battlefielladdiction.com, click on donate, and put reoccurring on there, and that makes your donation reoccurring every month, and then you'll be a monthly partner. Easy peasy. So do that. If you have any questions on that, contact me. Becky knows how to do it. Angie can help you. Super easy. It's fun. We usually have music. We have good, fun barbecue stuff. And it's really fun to meet the parents and get to know people, especially now since we're on Zoom so much. It's just so much fun to chat with parents and find some connections that way. I think that might be all I got. Monthly Partner Barbecue coming in August. Stay tuned and sign up to be a monthly partner.
Well, I don't really have much to add other than just save the date for the auction, which is October 22nd, right? Do I have
Yes.
this right? Okay, good. Anyway, so we're starting the planning right now. If you'd like to help, you can give us a heads up because we're going to need lots of helpers. But it's going to be a super fun night. It's going to be out in Enumclaw. So we'll try to let people know right away so you can make plans if you want to spend the night somewhere. Be close.
Ooh, good idea.
And then also just to remind everybody about Mom's Group tomorrow at 11 on Zoom. And if you don't, we can put the link in the chat or the notes right here. Anyway, or contact Kristen and I or Angie. We'll get you the link. So 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes, 11 o'clock tomorrow. And let me add that tomorrow, what's that?
Are you hiding? Where are you?
I am here.
Oh, there you are. Now I see it.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, so let me just add that tomorrow for Mom's Group, everybody, it's going to be an extra special Mom's Group. So we want to invite everybody. So it's going to be a special Mom's Group because some of the ladies are going to be in Kent doing some work for the organization, and we're going to tune in for Mom's Group from there. And then Art is going to be part of Mom's Group tomorrow and just sharing a bit about the vision with Battlefield and what's kind of to come, the direction in the next 90 days and what really our direction needs to be. And so I want to invite those of you, even if you haven't been part of Mom's Group, if you happen to be available for that hour, if you really want to be a part of this organization's growth this year, but I just want to invite you. So if you're available to join us, please do. I know a lot of you work in art and I know you'd love to be there. A lot of you would love to be there and can't, and that's okay. But if you can, please tune in. Men as well, would love to invite Bill and Guy and anybody out there is available to join us for the ladies group. It's not only ladies tomorrow. Just going to be a special group tomorrow. So please join us. We'd love to have you. So, all right. So with that, let me go over to the crew. And do we have comedy tonight? I think we do. Let's see. I just lost track of the screen. Do we have comedy over there tonight, guys?
Do we?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm a co-host tonight, so my screen's a little bit different. I have got Kristen actually being the main gal here, and so my screen's just a little bit different, so I'm trying to get used to it. Okay, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. So if you're new tonight, this is Kyle, one of the managers from Rebuild Recovery, and he brings us a little comedy each week to start us out. So go ahead, Kyle.
Okay. Why can't I see me?
He wants to see himself.
I want to see myself.
Up in the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Kristen to spot it.
Why can't I see?
Yeah. They're just gonna hear my sweet sensual voice, but not my face.
And you see, oh, there we go.
See himself. There he goes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm getting this.
Great looking guy.
Sorry,
You're
okay.
gonna get a haircut today.
I'm working it out.
Oh.
Yeah,
Splitting hairs.
I got a plan. Yeah. All right. I like my women just like I like my coffee.
Yes, we do.
Big tits.
I don't get
You're not put. It's not
Do
put.
we have to break down that joke?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. You gotta break this down because
I don't get it
I
either.
heard-
Okay, so there is this thing, you could say there's numerous ways to say it. You say I like my women just like I like my coffee, black and steamy hot.
Yeah.
Like there's different ways to say it. But I say I like my women just like I like my coffee. Then I say something that has absolutely nothing to do with coffee.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
funny.
Or you made that one.
Big tits. Okay.
I apologize.
Maybe I should have said. Maybe I should have said a great personality.
Yeah.
Hang
Okay.
with us, you new people. I promise. I promise it'll be okay. Denise, it's okay. Glad you're here.
I think you're only making it worse, Andrew. Yeah. Just shh. Okay. I joined a dating site for arsonists. I've been getting a lot of matches. I accidentally took my laxative with some holy water, but I'm going to have a religious movement. What do you call? Yes, I could have, but what do you call a sad cup of coffee? Depresso. What kind of dinosaur uses cheap toilet paper? A Megasaurus. Do I need to explain that one? Okay, all right. Did you guys hear about the guy who evaporated? He's going to be missed. The Jehovah's Witness walked up to me and said, "Bro, do you want to see this pamphlet?" And I said, "Yeah, brochure." It doesn't matter if you're tall or short, thin or fat, rich or poor. At the end of the day, it's night. Is butt cheeks one word, or do I spread it apart? Okay.
All right. Very good, Kyle. Very good. All right.
Sound all right?
Yeah, sounds
Hi,
good.
I just want to say hi. I'm Christy.
Hi.
Oh.
Cool.
Can't see her.
Welcome.
Can't see. I can see you guys. You can't see me.
Great. Well, we have Art on Spotlight right now, so everybody can't see you, but welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank
we'll
you.
We'll have a little time here pretty shortly here to for all the new people to meet you and to open it up for questions and whatnot, because that's actually going to be a special night tonight for that. So we'll get back to you in just a moment, but Art, go ahead and start.
Hey, you better mute the.
There we go.
Art got muted on that one. There we go.
All right. Well, so those of you that kind of been with us the last couple months and kind of seen what I've been going through, don't know really exactly what it is, but some type of a little bit of cognitive confusion or I don't know what you would call it, cognitive difficulty. And it leads to me to leads to a little confusion and a little bit tougher to do these talks. So for the first time, I think ever, I'm going to try to lighten the load a little bit tonight. I came with nothing. This is just a complete freestyle. So we're going to try to open it up for people who have questions and just see where the talk takes us tonight. there is a lot of topics we went over this year, and in this food for recovery or whatever you would call it. I do kind of arrived at a point where it's just talking about life. And somebody told me today that I spoke to and said that your talks are usually about recovery. And I said, I don't talk about recovery. I generally don't really see it that way. I see that our talks are mainly about life, and just then somebody asked questions like, well, how do the drug addicts do this and drug addicts do that? And well, the same way that normal people do this and the same way that normal people do that. We just try not to do drugs. So got that? Okay. So everyone, welcome. We're going to maybe start with some questions and make it a little easier on me. And then hopefully you guys in the room can pick up some, and we can go around and share and do it a little bit more open tonight. And then when it takes me somewhere and I go off on a tangent, I'll be able to do that and take it somewhere. So who are we going to start with, Ange?
Perfect. Well, I'm excited because a lot of the people that I reached out to today were excited, and some of the people had some things already in mind. So I know Carrie Burrows and Sherry Pennington had some things. So can we start with Sherry? I don't know if you want me to read your text, or if you're really good at speaking on the fly. I see you're on your couch there with your honey. But you had some great ones that you typed up, and I can certainly read those or just let you speak on the fly, because you're really good at that. So, hey, Sherry. Hey, Guy.
Hey.
Hey.
So I think I listened to a talk recently about introversion and how, and we've talked a lot recently about how you need to be honest and open, and you don't hold in the thoughts, you share the thoughts, right? And so for me, I think I'm partially introverted. I'm kind of on the scale of introversion, where I kind of have to process and think about it a lot of times, right? So I'm curious about how introversion and people who kind of have to think and process a little bit more, how that weaves in with the the being straight, open, and honest. Because if Guy says something that pisses me off, it takes me a while to process and think about it and figure out. It's what, that was kind of not okay, right? It takes a while for me to get there, right? So I'm curious about how that works for people when you're trying to be that honest, open place.
Yeah, I'm gonna let some of these guys talk that are more introverted, but I'm going to just answer what I do know about it. And one thing that I do know about being an introvert and experiencing drugs is that the drugs begin to allow you to not be that. And a lot of people who are stuck in here and scared to talk in groups and scared to be open with people, when they experience drugs, it really allows you and gives you freedom to feel comfortable to speak and share and do that kind of thing. And a lot of people that are introverted become a lot more social when they do drugs. So I don't know if anyone has that kind of experience in here, but and it makes it so you want to do drugs just so you can go to the bar and talk to women or meet people or socialize or do everything. So if anybody has that kind of experience, they could tell me about it. But that kind of worked in reverse for me in a way that I wasn't an introvert. But then when I started doing drugs, I was really social and really out there. And then actually when I ran out of drugs, I became an introvert. And then I had to get drugs to not be introverted so that I can go share again. So it kind of disabled me. So that's one. But you're talking about kind of a different thing in that, not sharing when sharing a resentment or something like that. And we do go down that road here too. So who's up? Who is somebody that experiences that? Chris?
Yeah, I definitely used to drinking and doing drugs would bring me to a place where I could be more social, very outgoing, and I thought I was very charming and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
So then after not doing that, for a couple of years, you're back to being an introvert, but then just through being comfortable with the same people over and over, I'm kind of not so much like that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's within my circle of people that are trying to do the same things as me, though.
Yeah.
I keep my circle to exclusively those kind of people. So, drugs definitely help, to talk and to get to know people. Yeah, you feel better. But without them, it took time to not be an introvert. I still am outside this room, outside of this group.
Yeah.
I just don't go far from this group, so it's not an issue.
Terry, I have a comment. So I've never really been introverted, but I always used to hear things like, think before you speak, or just because I was kind of more on the opposite end, I would just speak whatever was on my mind, but usually it was in like a reactionary state. And so I kind of get what you're saying about, especially in an argument or like a heated conflict, wanting to like take that breath and like think about what you're going to say. But I think after like doing this work, and like really implementing it in my life, the things that are like right on my mind, sorry, the things that are right on my mind usually aren't reactionary anymore. And so those things that used to bother me don't. And so like if I'm in a heated discussion with somebody, I'm usually not heated anymore. And what comes out of my mouth is coming from a more genuine, like calm place.
Well, and I think that she asked me, Lindsay asked me this morning, she asked if, what is can we leave share? Oh, I can't see her.
Yeah, I'll go back to her. Oh, Sherry.
Yeah.
You want Sherry back up there?
Yeah, we want to finish the topic. I mean,
Got
Lindsay had a good question today. She said, with this radical honesty stuff that I'm trying to impose or give to people, and there's just people that you're here and you're in your mind, and when you get bottled up in here, the atmospheric pressure of inside your body with all those thoughts begins to grow and tighten, and it just thoughts after thoughts after thoughts, and they're not always good, Jaden, and they're not always good. And at some point, you just can't keep stuffing things. And I think a lot of people that live this way, afraid to say this to somebody, but willing to go talk about it behind their back, and afraid to, speak their mind. I'm encouraging just to start blurting things out. The way that you learn how to do it is you begin to just do it. And after time, you find that you're offensive. And after that point, when you begin to cultivate a way of doing it that doesn't piss everybody off and doesn't hurt people's feelings, and you can get good at sharing your thoughts. And the reason for sharing your thoughts isn't because they're all right. It isn't because you know everything. It's the freedom that it gives you to not be alone in your head with them. So, we're kind of trying to make people who are introverted and stuck in there with their thoughts, suggesting that's a miserable way to live.
Mhm.
It's a powerless way to live. And, this thought that I have about you, I need to share it with you. And then that way I don't go into the next moment thinking about that thought. And I don't go into the next day thinking about that thought. And this is a big deal. So, it's kind of something that with radical honesty is, can I get to a place where I can share my thoughts about you? They don't have to be right. They just have to be what they are. They don't have to be mean. They don't have to be anything like that. It just has to be, I can share. And that way I'm free. And that way you know me and I know you. And that's the work of radical honesty, getting to a place where I can share my thoughts about you. And worse than not doing this work is that we're so free to share our thoughts about people to other people. And that's what tells you that you're suffering. And that should indicate to you that there's something desperately wrong. That when I have thoughts about my brother, my sister, my mother, I am never talking to my brother, my sister, or mother. I'm always talking to someone else. When I have thoughts about my girlfriend, I'm talking to my buddy at the bar, or I'm talking to my buddy at work. And I haven't even learned as a human being to be able to share those thoughts with a person without being mean or trample on them or do anything, and have open communication, And this is what a healthy relationship is: freedom to share. You know, I'm in a healthy relationship because we're both healthy. And freedom to share, meaning this is where I'd like to see improvements and hold you accountable. And this is what I want, and all that without a fight. This is a skill to learn how to share your thoughts without fighting with people. And it's so rare to watch it. You just watch people in relationships. I can't share my thoughts. We're going to end up in a fight. Why? Because you think you're fucking right. I'm not saying share your thoughts because they're right. Share them with the hopes that they're wrong. Share them with the hopes that you're not right. You know, this thought is on my head and I'm just hoping it's not right. I don't feel, is it true? And to have it abolished and to have it come up with somebody say, no, that's not what I was doing. No, that's not what I'm thinking. You know, through this process, Angie and I have learned so much about how crazy our thoughts are. You know, oh, I thought you were mad at me because of this. I wasn't even thinking about you. I was worried that you were mad at me because of this. I thought you didn't want to be with me tonight because I'm overweight. I thought you didn't want to be with me because I'm overweight. We're both thinking the same thing, but we think, you know. So you learn how crazy you are when you share your thoughts. Really, you learn that you're not right most of the time. So that's, you know, this introvert thing. What is that? Fear? You know, really, what is it?
I think it's also, you know, social anxiety.
Yeah.
You know? Either someone in particular I know. The reason why they don't go around other people is because when they do, people say, you know, we have a family thing going on. This is my brother I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We got a family thing and everyone we haven't seen for a while. Oh, what are you doing for work? What's going on in your life? What's happening? And he's going to have to say, well, I'm not working.
Yeah.
I'm not going to school. I don't have any money. You know, you're scared to talk about how irresponsible we are in life. And we don't want anybody to ask us how life is because our life's not.
And can you imagine that the solution would be not to fix those things?
Yes.
But rather not go around people?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
You know, and that's the deal. If there's something on your mind that makes it so you don't want to go to the family thing because you're not successful, well, one, nobody in your family is successful. We're all struggling with something. Two, you know, fix something.
Do something.
Yeah.
You think it could be a confidence thing? Because if you were like proud of yourself and what you're doing in your life, could you still be an introvert?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still could.
I think so. You know, but who knows? Maybe, you know, your parents make you that way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have folks that don't like, you know, remember my parents used to say the phrase, kids are to be seen and not heard. Yeah. You know, that was oh shit.
And they meant it.
Yeah, they did. But they had better reasons, you know. So yeah, I think that's just the word introvert, just to be in, I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine the pressure of not sharing thoughts. How long can that go? How long can you be alone in there with those thoughts without sharing them before you just blow? You know, go postal or whatever. Yeah, get high.
Exactly.
And then we talked about it this morning. When you do get to a point where you get high, what it does is it gets rid of all those thoughts and you can focus on whatever it is that you're doing. So, you know, maybe you get high and there's just a release, like a valve. And you can maybe turn on a song now and listen to it with pleasure. And you can play a video game or whatever it is that you like to do when you're high. That's what I remember. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what all of us are here trying to learn, though, is how to get what's in here out to the world. It has to go somewhere. If it doesn't go somewhere, then what are you? What are you doing? You know? So I think that's power, is bringing what's in here out to the world and sharing it in some way, some outlet. Okay.
Thank you,
Was
Sherry.
that good, Sherry?
Yeah. That opened up a great topic. Thanks,
Yeah.
Sherry. We knew we could count on you. Thank you. All right. And Carrie, Let's get it on spot. Look, you figured out the raise your hand feature.
I did. Yes.
That's the first time.
I,
Awesome.
so I actually, still want to piggyback on what Sherry was talking, but this is to the group there. And I looked at was going back through my notes and I turned right to the page. I know you can't really see it, but it's the page from where we talked about this before. And, and I've said this before, what you're doing for these people and for all of us and in communication, it's not just in group and it's not just in family and it's not just in relationships, but it's when you go to work. And so there might be something that you don't like about somebody, but you also need to engage and work about ideas and how to go forward, or you're engaging in group because ideas are personal. So I'm just wondering from the group, how do you help each other in these moments when you know somebody has something to say, to create a space that's comfortable for people to that might be having an introvert moment, which I've never known one of those moments. But to help them have that space where they feel that, okay, I need to say this. And how does the group there do that?
What do you guys, Lindsay?
Yeah, encouragement, right? That's always verbally encouraged by you and Munkers and whoever else. Like, if somebody's bothered and you can visibly see that they're bothered, you know, we tell them like, hey, you know, this is the place that you want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Everybody here is kind of going through the same thing. That's what I've experienced since I've been here.
Yeah, Trevor Noah said today that there's a context to everything, like everything in the world. So like, as it pertains specifically to like cancel culture, and people like to pick apart certain things and then say, well, you said this, but it was taken out of context, right? So he said everything in the world has a context, and I would say like introversion also has a context. And the context of introversion could be fear, anxiety, you know, whatever it is, and kind of an ability to recognize that in somebody. And I mean, that requires work on your part too, and knowing where their strengths and weaknesses lie. And to get them to say their truth, you have to have the ability to say your truth. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do your thing to get them to do their thing, I feel like. And kind of like Art was saying, it's just like jumping off a cliff though. There's really, you can talk about it and how to explain it, but until you do it, it's just kind of like, it was like trying to explain to a friend today about this treatment center specifically. He wants to know all the specifics about it and the daily routine and everything. And I said, you just got to do it. You can explain it, but there's really no way to experience it until you just experience it. You know, you can sit there and try to do it, but it's just like jumping off a cliff into the water. You just got to do it. And yeah.
I mean, and in a reality, real-time way, the way that it works, Carrie, around here is people are scared and they're powerless, and we try to get them through these talks to not be. But the reality of how it works is that somebody has a problem with something, and then they share it with their closest ally in a private conversation. And then sometimes heroics starts, where the ally begins to be the union representative and speak for that person. And then we have a union rep that kind of arises, and rather than, and that's the opposite of the way that we're trying to do it, but that's the way it works. Sometimes you find out through backdoor conversations that people are unhappy. And so that's the kind of the reality of the way things work. We'd like it to work better, that people would be advocating for themselves, that people would be doing that. But this is people that have been stuffed and stuffing down their things for years and learn this strategy that if I have a problem with Mike, I see John and talk to John about what a shitbag Mike is. And, you know, that's what we're trying to re-engineer here. And mainly what happens here is that people wear it. They don't have to say it. They wear their unhappiness. And then people it's kind of like pushing them into the middle of the circle to fight. Like, you go fight your fight. That's a good way to do it.
And
Anyone else?
I don't think that that's unusual for battlefield or rebuild. I mean, that's just when you get more than 2 people in a room.
That's right. That's right.
And the skills and the recognition of life requirements, you know, there should be a degree for what's happening there with everybody, you know, because what they'll take from here is we'll just transfer, and they'll be, you know, they have the potential because of what they're learning to be really model employees and model people in a relationship. So,
And I think if I were to guess, I think it will be easier for them to do it at a job
yes.
than it will be here with their peers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is
Yes.
a tough room.
Yeah.
This room, you can get real bullied. It's a violent culture here at Point. You know, it's not therapeutic.
No.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Yeah, competitive. This isn't. Yeah, if anyone's looking for a real therapeutic environment, those are rare moments where we all sing. But
We definitely need to remember.
It's the no bullshit therapy.
yeah, it's more violent here than therapeutic, but it's still good.
Well, there's also I mean there's a balance because we have to be careful because, you know, I feel like it's my job where I sit when I'm doing is to make sure I don't allow people to be a victim in front of me.
Yes.
You know, I can't allow it. I won't allow it. You know, I have to prevent people. And so there's a balance when people want to come out and the way they tell their truth. You know, they can tell their truth or they can be a victim. And it's about being able to be, you know, it's about being able to be an example of how to tell your truth to people. And hopefully they can learn how to tell theirs at the same time without being a victim about it. Pet peeve.
I think that was really good, and I really like appreciate what Jeff said about, I mean, he pretty much said the same thing. It's just, it's in order to get to a place where we come together and are able to do that, we each hold, you know, an accountability to ourselves to do it. You know, we each have to do it individually before we can look anywhere outward. I mean, it has to come from ourselves. Otherwise, nothing's gonna.
But this is all of us. I mean, this is all of us people sitting in a room. And there's not just the 18 people in this room. There's 18 people and then all the thoughts. You see, all the insecurities, all the fears. I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm in a relationship with you, your thoughts, your insecurities, your fears. I don't know which I'm getting. Your lies, your performance, you're looking good, you're acting. And then sometimes I'm in a relationship with you, and when I'm with you, it's the truth. And then that's therapeutic. See, that's what's therapeutic is the truth. Imagine some environment being that we get better, but the truth isn't present. It doesn't exist. So the therapeutic environment that they speak of is the truth, and you don't see it very often. What you see when they call it a therapeutic environment is usually what you see is pandering and victimhood and somebody pandering to the victim. And they call that the safe space. The safe space. Listen, there is no safe space in this world. There's the truth, and it's pretty safe. And then there's all your bullshit. And if you want to spew bullshit, you shouldn't get safety. You shouldn't be allowed, and there is no safety in someone's bullshit here. When someone comes in this room and starts lying about what they're doing, it's not safe, is it? No. So, yeah.
Thank you, Carrie. Thanks so much. Let me take this moment to just welcome. I spot 2 new people here tonight, so let's take a moment to welcome them. Denise, hi, glad you're here. Denise, let me add Crystal. So Denise has a consultation booked tomorrow, so we definitely look forward to meeting you, Denise. Totally new to Battlefield, just reached out for the first time. She's going through the right channels and getting a consultation right away. So looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. So if there's anybody out there who wants to share tonight any, encouragement to her about maybe perhaps where you were before coming to Battlefield and maybe your experience now, you can certainly do that. And then Crystal, I haven't met you before, I don't believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Yes, she has. You have.
Crystal.
time ago.
Chris needs to come to the big house.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's okay.
So it's Christy or Crystal?
Christy.
Oh, Christy. Okay, great. Well, gosh, is this your first time on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
Very first ever Zoom.
Oh, fabulous.
Anything.
Okay. All right. Well,
Christy's
glad
actually the longest member of Battlefield. I've known her longer than anyone on here.
Oh,
wow.
I met Christy when I was 5, maybe 1 years old.
yeah.
We just
Probably.
didn't
Wow.
really. Yeah, so we've known each other 48 years.
So
pretty
she
much.
could share some stories.
Yeah.
Some juicy stories.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here, Crystal. Welcome.
No, we didn't do much
you.
juicy stuff. We played with toys.
Yeah,
We weren't
pretty much.
perverted, Ange.
No.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you guys are all just kind of walking into this ongoing conversation. So welcome to
Yeah.
both of you.
Thank you
And
very
Denise-
much.
Denise, you'll get
I
more.
was 12, Ange. This wasn't juicy. I wasn't the dynamo I am now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We had pajamas on and they had feet in them.
Oh.
And we used to run around the house and slide. That was good. Yeah. We used to go down. One of our favorite was going down the stairs on our butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
We were innocent kids. We were good kids.
Yeah, we
Did what we
were.
were told. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. We've known each other a long time. Okay, Denise. Thanks, Christy. I'll see you when you come over.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
She's smiling today. She you can't even get Sherry to quit telling us jokes and smiling. She's
Good. I'm so
Yeah.
glad. That makes me feel so good.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is Sherry's sister.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, now it makes sense. Okay, now it makes sense. Got it. Awesome. And yeah, and Denise is a grandma of a young man struggling with addiction.
Grandma.
Reached out. I know. I couldn't believe it when she popped on either. Seeing her face. That wasn't what I was expecting. Like, wow. But yeah, so she comes
Denise,
tomorrow.
they're saying you look like Meryl Streep here.
Yeah.
I don't think
Have
so.
you ever been told that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Everybody's nodding. Everybody's
Yes.
nodding.
Little Meryl Streep look. Yeah.
No, I have 6 grandkids. 6, kind of, yeah. I raised because I've got some stepkids in there too. So
Wow. Where are you from?
Kent,
Oh, well, come on over.
I will tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right. Shit.
Looking forward to it, Denise.
Well, I hope you don't have any problems or anything, because God, I got a busy day tomorrow.
No problem. Just one biggie.
Oh. Well, we solve problems for a living.
Good.
That's what we do. We're pretty good at it.
Good. Looking forward.
Actually, we don't solve problems. We just take it over.
Yeah.
It never gets solved. We just start handling it. Yeah. We just take the problem for you and we just play with it for a couple of years.
I'll take that. I will deliver
Yeah.
the problem.
Hey, you ever see one of those balls of string that's just, the weed whacker that you try to do that and then it goes like that? We just take that loose ball of string and we try to wind it back up again, and then it goes like that on us again too. So we have the same issues.
Perfect enough.
Yeah.
Jam the cat back on.
Yeah.
That's a
Try to
perfect.
stuff all that weed whacker string in that thing and make it work.
Working for a few days.
Yes.
And send it to Randy.
Yeah.
Did you hear her, Art? She said, "I'd be happy to deliver the problem right to your doorstep."
Yeah. We'll come get it.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll work on that. Awesome. All right.
I got a pile of problems right here I'm still working on. I'm like a mechanic shop. I'm like a mechanic shop, but the cars never leave. They just keep piling up.
And Denise, what you're looking at is this is the shop. Where
Huh?
they're tuning in from is called the shop, and this is where you'll meet tomorrow. And but this is where Art runs his recovery program.
It's a garage, even. It's
I
like
can
a-
see the garage door.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
yeah, it's a garage for people. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, you'll have fun.
well,
you see, we have fun.
I worked
That's
with
the
in a
point.
classroom for 30 years, those kids.
What
Probably in the
school?
room.
What
Neely
school?
O'Brien.
Oh, that was new to Kent when I was after. That was after my elementary. That's the one up on like around 238th, 240th.
Mhm.
Oh, is it down? Which one is it?
It's down in the valley off of down farther past Washington. We were built in 1990.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Very,
those are-
very challenging population.
Yeah, the downtown Kent kids. They were always the troubled ones.
Mhm.
If you live- Yeah, we got one right in here right now. Yeah.
Neely O'Brien kid.
Were you a Neely O'Brien kid, Justin? No, you went to Kent Elementary.
Oh, that's our sister school.
Oh yeah, Neely O'Brien, right down there in the middle of the apartments.
Yes, yes.
Yes, James
And if
Street.
Yes. And if the Howard
I know it is.
Dam ever exploded, we were supposed to have both schools meet at the jail.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, they were going to end up there sooner or later. What did you teach?
First grade and fourth grade.
Oh man, so you got to teach them everything. You got to know a little bit about everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. Huh.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Who's next? Who's out there with some good questions? Maybe some just some experience to share with Denise since she's new. Questions, comments, anything. All's welcome. Back to the basic questions or recent topics, anything, you name it.
You know, I had a conversation with someone today, reminding me of you know, kind of this family, this way to, I don't know. I like to use nouns as verbs, so this way to family, like you know, a radical new way to be a family, a radical new way to live as a family, and you know, the encouragement of radical honesty and the encouragement of debate. You know, that's and I was kind of raring to go and debate again after I left because you know, I've forgotten what it's like and how difficult it is to like people even that think differently than me. It's a challenge, you know, whether it's politically, whether it's in any way. I find it very difficult to not have anger for people who don't believe the same things I believe and have the same opinions. And it's not just a problem with us and local family, it's a problem with our country, it's a problem with everything. We just cannot see, and everyone says, oh, I'm good at listening to the other people's opinions and thoughts. I don't know if anyone is. I don't see anyone that's any good at it right now. So, you know, and having these things in families that people don't want to talk about, saying we should just disagree to disagree. I'm just reminded of how difficult it is to hit those topics. And then going back to what we're doing here with just really with radical honesty and what radical honesty is. Radical honesty is being able to share everything inside of you out and then put it on the table and move it around and see if some of it makes sense and see if it doesn't. I also said to him, I said, you know, it seems to me that the longer I go in life, the less opinions I have. And it seems to me that I had 10 years ago when I started, I had all sorts of opinions on addiction. I had Suboxone doesn't work. Suboxone's just another thing, another drug. You got to go to meetings. You don't got to go to meetings. Everybody's opinion on addiction. Addiction's from trauma. Addiction's not from trauma. All the bullshit. As I've done 10 or 11 years doing this, I don't have any more opinions on it. I don't know if it's from this. I don't know if it's from that. I don't know if that's the solution. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. You're just here. And so as you learn, you get less and less opinions. And it kind of looks at me and I go, I wonder when people are getting older and they seem to be more opinionated. And so I wonder if that's right. I wonder if there should be somebody that in life, if you're getting older plus getting more opinionated, maybe you're making a mistake. Maybe you're not opening yourself up to different things. And so I hope I'm not making a mistake by, as I get older and my opinions about everything, politics, money, life, finances, people's relationships, sexuality, gay, what not gay, straight, my opinions are going away. I don't believe anything I think is the right way. And I see people getting older and more opinionated and I go, geez, that seems like how could you get more right as you get older?
Yeah.
It seems like you should be learning that everything you think you know about life, you don't. And that's just the kind of the path for me. I know 10 years ago, if I gave a talk, everything I said was right. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I could have told you how to get off drugs. I could have told you what you needed to do. I don't know what you need to do. What does someone need to do to not eat chocolate cake anymore? It's not good for you. I don't know. I can't stop eating chocolate cake. You know? So that's part of the thing is like, as families divide, as our country gets divided by opinions, it just seems to me that's the way, and we're sitting here talking about connection. Well, to be connected, we would have to be getting less opinionated, or at least putting our opinions on the back burner in lieu of wanting to be closer. And hopefully coming to a kind of an agreement where we can walk forward with each other and go, yeah, I know you think Trump's great. I know, but could you maybe not think he's as great? And then I'll try to think he's great. And then maybe we could like get together somewhere, you know, because we need to talk about it. Because when we don't talk about it, you love Trump and I don't, and I hate him. And then we just say we can't talk about that topic. Well, really, that's always on our mind when we're together. That's what's on our mind. And you're talking about one thing, and in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, but this guy's a piece of shit because he loves Trump. So again, you know, radical honesty, but not radical honesty that I'm going to say everything because I'm right. Radical honesty with the hopes that I'm wrong. That's the key. You have to understand that. If I say everything that I think about you and I say it's right, well, then I'm probably just telling you what a piece of shit you are. But if I say everything I'm thinking about you and I hope that why you got to the place you got is different than why I think you got to that place, and I hope that you think differently, then maybe I can get to a place where I can understand you by sharing my thoughts. And I don't have to have assumptions about you anymore. So, you know, this radical honesty thing isn't me telling everyone the truth about them. It's me telling everyone the truth about my thoughts. That's it. This is my thoughts. They're stupid a lot of the time. I don't know, but I'm going to say it because I don't want to be left alone with my thought and an assumption that comes to some conclusion about you. And so I share and we talk because I need to get it out. And damn it, I'm impressed when I'm wrong because it lights me up, because it proves you're a better person than I was thinking you were. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy to know that your motivation wasn't that. You weren't just doing that to piss me off. You were doing it because of this and that. And so that's the goal of radical honesty, to be wrong. And to understand that just because there are thoughts doesn't mean they're true. They're just thoughts. But if I stay alone with them long enough, they become true. They kind of get cemented in as the truth. Yeah. Rather than, hey, I don't know, I seen you on your email last night. I had this thought that maybe you were emailing an ex-boyfriend or something. Now I go to work or whatever. I think she's emailing her ex-boyfriend. Why not just go up and say, hey, are you emailing your ex? And then you'll see her face. You see, no, look. You find out things when you're honest with your thoughts. You find out things. You find out that you're wrong a lot. It's great to find out you're wrong. But people aren't willing to do it because a lot of people will say, yeah, you don't want to be radically honest because there's a chance you're wrong. And you love being right. And you love being in there and being right about people and knowing what a piece of shit they are. In fact, even when they tell you the truth, you don't give it up. Well, you know, people would rather be right than in love. That's for sure. Renee?
Yes. Hi, Renee. Yay. She was working on something today too. Awesome. Let's get ya.
Hi, everyone. Hey, so this, the radical truth thing that you talk about, I like it. But to be honest, it's really hard for me with someone particularly who hasn't really heard your message. It's really hard. I mean, some people are open to radical honesty, but there are some people that probably it's so foreign to them. I wouldn't even know where to begin, like I want to try with some people, but I'm just thinking like, I don't think they get it, or maybe I'm not giving people credit, but I am going to say that I feel like it's easier with this group of people that here, we've all heard your message and kind of given some thought to it, but honestly, it is hard with some people.
Well, and I really think that the one of the reasons people think it's hard is that people think that their thoughts are true. And because my thoughts are true, and then I tell you my true thought that I have about you, it'll hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Because I believe that my thought about you is so the truth. But when you pose it, this radical honesty is not the truth, but you pose it as a question.
Okay.
Rather than posing your thought as the truth about them, but more so a question about them, like an inquiry to why they do what they do. And you do it in a way that really inquires and it doesn't accuse. When you do that, it's not as difficult. And it's, hey, I got to tell you, your breast stinks. That one might be tough.
That would be hard.
That one's, or something like that. You look fat in those jeans or something, those ones are tough. Those ones you might want to powder up a bit, hey, but hey, here's a mint. Would you like a mint? Your dogs are barking or whatever you'd say, but
some new pants.
Yeah, those pants don't, but those ones are different, but those aren't really the ones we stick with. Those aren't the ones that leave us not free. Those aren't the ones that bind us up. Those just go away. It's the other ones, the I think you're doing this, or I think you're up to this, or what is I don't like your position on this. Well, because I don't like your position, I'm not willing to talk because I have the opposite position. And God forbid that I come over to your side. I mean, what if that was the hope? What if radical honesty was the hope that the person brought you over to their opinion? That was the hope, not that you brought them to your opinion.
But what if they're like gaslighting
In what sense?
you? Like if you bring something out that you think is true, turns out to be true, but they lie to your face about it.
Yeah.
And then they bring you over.
Well, these are the ways that you figure out not to be around that person anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the ways that you determine. But many people don't ever get to the point that they determine not to be around the person, and rather what it looks like is I'll be around them. I'll just keep my thoughts to myself. And why? Why are you around them? Well, it looks good that we remain friends in my social circle. I don't want anyone to know that I don't like Mike because Mike throws the best beach party or Mike throws the best barbecue. So I got to go over to Mike's house, and I hate Mike, but I'm going to go over there and I'm going to play nice because that's the key to my social circle or whatever. And I think people are doing that kind of thing. Or he's just my brother and I got to go to Christmas or whatever kind of bullshit it is.
I also was thinking about, what to share with some of the new people, I guess, that might be listening tonight was the idea that when I found Battlefield, I had the idea like, oh, I have to get my person to get into your program so they can get help and fixed or whatever. And that's the truth, right? I know. That's my person. But the truth is that I've learned a lot from the program myself. So, I mean, Battlefield was who I contacted, but you run that program, Rebuild Recovery, and you talk about, I don't know if I got the slogan right, but it's like rebuilding the addict, the family, and the community. Is that what it is?
That's Battlefield, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Battlefield. Okay. So I mean, that is the truth, because the idea that I walk in like, you need to fix this person for me, or whatever. And the truth is, like, we all need some kind of fixing. It's not just, we're not in this situation and the burden doesn't just sit on the addict's shoulders, but really in order for us to have a relationship or, in order for our addict to be engaged in life and everything, I mean, we have to have a relationship. We have to have a hope for something. And that's just what I feel like I found here is, I'm learning some of the things that I've done that, or whatever, it can lead to, I can improve, so I appreciate what, I appreciate what Rebuild's done for me. The dog wants in.
Well, just the lightness of you. Didn't you just look lighter? And I mean, you know.
Oh,
you just look light. And you just, really.
Are you saying I look thinner?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
no. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I also want, like, I like your clients there at the house there to know that, we're working on our junk too. It's not just, I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for specifically for like our moms group, because we have all these conversations every week, but we really are trying to work on seeing things from a different perspective, being more honest and compassionate, you know what I mean? Being more understanding of, like, maybe our position isn't perfect and 100% right. And maybe our approach through the years was not maybe the best, but we're all trying to meet somewhere. So, I don't know.
Beautiful.
Very well said. Thank you, Renee.
And I also think we, as Battlefield, that's, we've kept up this tagline about the addict, the family, and the community. I said we've done a tremendous job with families and the addicts, and we've done that job. But I would say Battlefield's kind of piece that we haven't done is we haven't mended a community with this yet. we haven't got out there deep enough, and that's been challenging. And the reason it's challenging is Washington State is on. We take a pretty opposite viewpoint of addiction than most of the Washington State communities, and for some reason, Washington State went on a drug addicts' rights movement, and they've granted drug addicts all the rights in the world. And we disagree. I disagree that we should be pandering to human beings killing themselves with fentanyl and meth as a good barometer of how they should be. They shouldn't get to dictate their rights. I think we lose our rights as people when we start stealing and doing drugs and doing that. And I think that we should lose our rights. I think somebody else should take over and say, hey, you don't know what's best for yourself anymore because, by the way, you just died and we had to Narcan you, and we just don't agree that you should live this way. So we're not going to let you. If anyone,
it's just a way of living, let us navigate your life for a while.
Yeah. And if anyone agrees that that's love and letting somebody live in a tent, that's not love. You don't want anyone you love living in a tent, and you would never fight for their rights to do it. You just wouldn't. If you had love, you'd say, no, these drugs have caused you to live in a tent. We need to get you off the drugs, so you don't want to live in a tent. And that's just, part of what we need to do is help Washington and this community come back from this destruction that they've allowed by enabling drug addiction. And so that's hopefully what we can do. But I'm telling you, it's a very vicious group of they say they're non-bullying people, but they're bullies. They'll try to cancel you if you just mention that we shouldn't let a homeless person steal everything from the store. They'll tell you you're an asshole and you don't. They've told me in meetings that I don't like drug addicts.
We don't.
Yeah. Well, he told me I one time went to a Federal Way homeless coalition meeting that they were talking about the homeless problem in Federal Way. And I brought 4 guys with me that lived in Federal Way and were homeless for upwards of 5 to 10 years. And they sat next to me in the room. Dave Z, a few people sat next to me in the room. They lived on those exact streets. They did everything in Federal Way. And when they went to speak, the people told them they don't know nothing about the homeless problem in Federal Way. I said, well, these are the guys that were living there. They didn't want to hear it from them. And the guys that were living on the streets were suggesting that nobody should be bringing them clean needles and tents and drugs and clean pipes. And they told them to shut up, so those guys all walked out of that meeting pretty mad along with me. We just gave, okay, I guess we don't know anything. So, Carrie.
Well, I was going to ask about, so there's 2 things, and it's all related to your tag or the tagline of family, addict, and community. And I just want to, first, before I get to the depth of my question, is just say, I believe that you're touching the community more than you realize, because as being a part of Battlefield has definitely empowered us to communicate a lot stronger about not only the program and what we learn as a family, but what we take away from you, like what you just said, is we're out here. I'm in Chelan relaying the message. Everybody, we've got Angela, down south communicating, and you are touching the community more than you realize, because you're emboldening people because of what you've done for the families to communicate. And so you are, and maybe we're not quite as organized as we want to be, but we're making little ripples in the sand and in the water right now.
Yeah.
So,
and we're getting strength.
Yeah. So my question for you is, how did you come up with that tagline? Because it really, it makes it so much easier to talk with people. That family is, I think family's first in the tagline, right? Family, addict, community.
I think
or
it's
fam-
addict. Yeah.
No, it's family first. It's
Oh, is it?
reconnecting the family, the addict, the community. We were very purposeful in the family being first because we are a family first approach organization. And, and once we have the family making the right moves, then we can affect change on the addict. And then our next was community.
Yeah. And that translates so well. And it makes us, like I say, more emboldened to communicate about what's going on. And you know that you've got the tribe.
Yeah, that tagline that when we started what I always knew, I started these sober housing, and the real problem was that I was getting all these kids and I didn't know their parents. And then when I did finally meet their parents, what I got was the kids' version of what was going on in the house given to the parent. And then the parent would tell me what was going on in my house and it wasn't true. And then they'd tell me about me and it wasn't true. And I went, well, this doesn't seem to work because these kids are liars and they're not being very honest with what's going on. They seem to have some type of getting some type of angle here about not telling what's really going on and making it sound easier on them when they screw up and all that kind of thing. So I always knew, and then what happened was I met Ange, and Ange was the first parent that intently listened to the moves, intently listened to the coaching. And that's how our relationship formed, is that me and Ange would be up at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and she would be calling me about what to do and what move to make. And she would make the exact moves that I told her to make. And then that evolved into her spreading that message and getting me in front of other mothers. And boy, what you'll probably notice is that about 8 years ago, I got in front of about 13 mothers. What you'll notice is that they're not here. and that's because that radical honesty thing, when you're an asshole, like I said, remember, you start with radical honesty, but then you learn to cultivate it over time so it doesn't offend people and hurt people's feelings. But I hadn't learned that yet. So I just learned to tell people how wrong they were, very honestly. And turns out none of those women are still around. They didn't like the way my approach was. So I cultivated it. And then we developed what we called the family first approach. And we labeled it the family first approach. And lo and behold, I didn't know, but I was running that family first approach for about 6 years. And then I saw a book one day, and it's actually called the Craft Method. And it was invented, I think, back in Ohio or one of the Midwest country states. And they're the only, there was one other place that was actually doing it. And it was in a Midway state, and it's called the Community Resource Family Therapy. I don't know, whatever it is, but that's what craft meant. And so it was actually I wasn't the inventor of it, but I did invent it without knowing about it. So that's how that all worked. And then, we just saw that the bigger problem was there. The bigger problem was we can't do nothing because, families get sick. They get sick and they don't want this problem to end. They don't know that they don't want the problem to end. That's when you get into the Cartman's triangle and the drama triangle, people becoming heroes, victims, and perpetrators, and the roles be switching. So people get stuck in that. We can talk about that another day, but man, I forgot more about addiction than I can remember to talk about. But anyways, yeah, so that's why it came about, family first. Because, they have it. Every family, if your family's here, you got every family has what's called there's the addict, and then every family has the haters of the addict, and they're all in one camp, and they're very angry with the addict, and they think the addict should pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and all the haters are angry and they don't want you to do anything for them anymore, and they say kick them out. And then you have the sympathizers, and every family has these two camps. And the sympathizers, they all want to be heroes, and they'll run out at 2 a.m. and make sure the car's full of gas, and they'll stay up all night. And both camps develop in a family. In every family, these camps develop, and then that the war begins to not be with the addict. The war begins between the two camps. And so now we begin to argue about what to do. And it's no longer the addict is triangulated and no longer is the problem anymore. They're actually the solution. That's what's called a racket. So now the addict becomes a solution for people to fight and people to argue. And that becomes the glue that actually begins to hold a family together. What do we do without this big problem to deal with? Well, we wouldn't know what to do because we don't go out to dinner for anymore. We don't have sex anymore. We don't have romance in our relationship. Me and my husband just have this addict to deal with every day. And that's maybe somebody has a dog and you let the dog sleep between you and your wife, whatever. Anyways, so that's how that goes. We know a little bit about that.
Got your addicts between you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember there was one family and we used to think, remember, I used to tease the, who was that? I used to tease, the Alpines. I said, I just picture Derek sleeping between them. You know, he's safe tonight, honey. Yeah, but I'm trying to get some sleep, baby. Maybe cuddle with you. No, Derek's sleeping with us tonight. In a big 40-year-old grown man in a big onesie.
That family's
Mom's
doing really
sleeping
great.
like a baby. Dad's like, ugh.
I will say that family's doing great now.
Yes.
Derek's kicking ass.
We love
really
Derek.
good.
I love the
Really good.
Alpines, man.
They're
But
big
I used to.
supporters.
One time I saw, what was her name? What's Mrs. Alpine's name?
Hammy.
The underside of her
Hammy Alpine. One time I seen her across from the big house and she had goggles and she was looking into binoculars and she was looking into Derek's room. She called me, is Derek in bed? I don't know. Well, I'm seeing him walk around.
Oh,
And then
Renee.
parents have, and then the mothers always come and they say, my boy is so smart. My boy is, every parent that comes to me, their boy is so smart. Their boy is, now your boy, and then he shows up and he's got a beard. Full beard. This guy's like 42. He's your boy? Be a little bundle. He's got a beard. Full beard. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun times in the family, you know? Mom just cuddled up with her 38-year-old son, holding him tightly. You know, he's safe tonight.
Crust off his grilled
Oh, yeah. Do you want a grilled cheese? Cut the crust off? Yes. Mom, I hate the crust. Renee.
Oh, sorry. I got something else to say, of course.
Yeah.
But you're talking about me there. I just want you to know.
I know. There's this guy Nico coming. Oh, he must be a cute little guy, you know? He wasn't a cute little guy. He was a full-grown Asian man. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
my boy. And then they always, but it's so refreshing when you get the dad. The dad comes and he's not a fan anymore of his kid. You know, those are the best, you know. He's just not a fan, you know.
Yeah. I guess what I wanted, there's one more thing that I wanted to say was, I actually think that for me personally, I don't know if that's the case for anybody that's in the house, if anybody wants to speak up to this, but I feel like it's really hard, not only with people who haven't heard, you know, like I said, trying to be really honest with people, but it is hard as well with your own, either your addict or your parent or whatever it is, that relationship, that dynamic, because there's so many years of whatever, like dependence, codependence, you know, you're harboring resentment towards the other person. So I was just wondering if anyone there wants to share. They don't have to, but if they want to, if they found it a big struggle to try to like rebuild that relationship with, you know, really the people that are around you, you know, like your family or.
Lindsay, you talk about this with your mom and.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. I have a few examples. Actually, I used to be married and I had that same kind of concept where it's like I get and I'm really excited about all this knowledge I'm learning and it, you know, I feel like I'm progressing in life, and then, you know, you come back to a person that's hasn't changed at all, and it's really difficult to navigate that. But you know, and then with my mother, you know, she's very stuck, I think, and just kind of not really interested in what, as long as I'm doing well, she's okay. But, you know, I've in that situation, I've had to separate myself a little bit from it right now until I gained a little bit more power in myself. And then maybe I can go to her and be like, and maybe, I don't want to say educate, but I can show her through, you know, my actions and what I'm doing, you know, with a little bit more power, that maybe she'll come to the conclusion that it's a good way to live. You know, it's less stressful, it's less suffering, it's less everything. So, you know, at this moment, until, you know, I learn and gain all this knowledge and gain the power within myself, it's something that I'm not approaching.
Well, in full disclosure, Renee, I mean, Angie will go with me to one of my family things and she'll like look at me like, do they not know who you are? I mean, like, you know, because I'm just little brother that needs to shut up. And I'm stuck in that old thing. And, you know, with this radical honesty and with this way of life, a couple things happen. One, you've set precedent with so many people in an agreement to lie to each other. And we have so many relationships set in stone that way. Hey, we kind of just agree to not say all the things we don't like about each other. We just go on faking it, and we have those relationships. And when you try to change that, you become the asshole. You become the person that's crazy because now you're saying truth, because it looks like that now you're different. But instead of, you're just suggesting maybe I'm not going to be a liar anymore, but you've already set the precedent as a liar. So it's very difficult. And that's the one thing that happens. The second thing that happens is you start bringing people into your life that you can be truthful with, and you start having different friends, and it gets better because your new relationships don't set those precedents. Your new relationships are based upon the fact that you're going to tell people the truth and you're going to talk about everything as it comes up. You're not going to wait. So that's what's happened for me, is that everyone new in my life, I don't have stories on, and I don't have resentments, and I don't let anything build. And the most difficult relationships are my older ones. The most difficult relationships are the ones with my sisters. And I have the hardest time telling them, I don't anymore. I just do it. And with my sisters, I just do it and we make up later. So I still don't hold anything with them either. I can't say I do that, but it's not received as well. So we fight and then we hug. But I think fighting and hugging is one of the coolest things there is too. So I don't think people do that enough. I think the best times in relationships are when you fight and then you hug. You know, and those are great times to fight, hug, and fight, hug, fight, hug, fight, hug. Well, that's making a good relationship. Yeah. So I loved it. Me and my sister's relationship got a lot better after our last fight. And the reason it got better is because specifically I wanted to understand her. I wanted to know what, and I didn't like what I heard. She didn't like telling me, but I listened. So, and again, I will tell you the stages of this work because that's what it is. The stages of this work, and I tell everyone this, the first stage, when people hear me for the first time, they say, that's very interesting. The second thing they say is, that's very interesting. My addict needs to hear this, or my family members need to hear this. The third stage of this work is that I might need some of this. And then the last stage is, because I needed it, because I do the work, nobody else needs the work. So if you're doing this right, nobody else needs it. And if you're at the stage where you're telling everyone about it, that's because you haven't done it right. And you're still wanting them to change. They won't. And so when you get to the last stage of this thing, nobody else needs to change, because you accept how people are. And you deal with that. You work from a place of acceptance. So it helps to know that everyone kind of goes through the same thing. Oh my God, Art, I'm going to get my person to you. And then boy, our family's going to be fixed.
When can I come get in?
Yeah. Art, I know someone that needs to hear what you're saying. Yeah, you. No, not me. I'm perfect. So, okay. Did we just give Sherry her phone today? This is what's happened. Okay. We will. Yeah. It was so nice when she didn't have it. She was, yeah, we're going to have to get that back out of those hot little hands.
I agree.
She's burning up the keyboard.
He's done nothing but text me all meeting long. I put my phone down.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I hear you say that, because I 100% truly believe that. Sometimes I feel excited. Like I get excited for, like, I want my mom to know this, that she betters her life for her. Like, not because I can just do what it is. Like, it gets exciting for like other people.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
Do you?
Yeah. Anyway, what she said was she gets excited for other people to better their life through this information, and I don't think as human beings we have the capability of getting excited for other people.
We might get. We want other people to be better, right? Or we don't want to play the art because it makes us feel.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't like to see my sister suffer so much. You know?
Well, I mean, if my brother was to take this curriculum and use it,
Gary feels very strongly about this one.
The way my brother
You should have seen her.
The way he's supposed to, right? I wouldn't have a problem with my brother anymore.
Yeah.
I could say I'm happy, excited for him to do it, but the fact is I don't have to see him as a problem anymore, because now he's, focusing on his own shit.
Yeah, I think we always have some self motivation in there somewhere. I think that having that glum look off their face or having them smile feels a lot better in the room for us than when they don't.
Isn't that what she's saying now?
What do you mean?
She said she makes her happy.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that on some level, when you've done this work, you get to a place where you understand that people sometimes cartoon-like and predictability about how they're going to behave, and it comes kind of just as enjoyable as you do enough of this work, you know what people are up to, you know what they're going to do and what they're going to be like and how they're going to respond, and you rely on that.
That's why I like Jaden so much.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm realizing the time, and we do need to wrap up, but let me just, before you finalize, a reminder, tomorrow morning, Mom's Group is open to all men as well. It's just 1 hour, 11 a.m. If you need the link, you can let me or Kristen know. It's on Zoom, 11 a.m. And it's just an opportunity for everybody to tune in. And this time only, we're not limiting it to just, women. This week only because Art is going to be there, and he's going to be sharing a bit about, really, for us ladies in Battlefield, and what our focus really needs to be over the course of the next 90 days and driving us to where we want to be by year end. And so,
by the way, I'm just learning about all this.
Yeah. He is. Surprise!
I better come up with some shit.
This is what we need from our pilots and our visionary of Battlefield. And
I'll get
just,
together on making up some bullshit tonight.
with our strategy, some inspiration and strategy of really what our steps need to be, because we're at a real crucial point really right now with Battlefield. We're past COVID and now we're open again, but we took a huge hit with COVID, you know, financially. We took huge hits. So really, what does our strategic plan need to be? And also we took a hit on new people hearing about us because we weren't out there spreading the message. We've just been via Zoom. And so it's really, you know, decreased the amount of people that know about us and come to us for the help that's much needed out there. There's so many people that don't know about Battlefield. It is crazy how many people out there just need to know about us, and one phone call, one consultation can change everything. And then also financially, you know, it's just been a big, huge hit. That's reality, and we need funds to keep going. There are so many families out there that need help, you know, help offsetting the cost of treatment for their loved ones. And so yeah, it's a serious, you know, it's just a big need. And so anyway, so tomorrow is from our visionary, the original founder of Battlefield, Art, and he's going to be sharing that. So all are welcome. Again, I know that a lot of you work, would love to be there, but can't. It's okay. But those of you who can, you're invited. Yes.
Are you going to, is there any chance you can record that tomorrow so we can pop onto YouTube or something and see it?
Yeah, okay. I can. I won't post it on YouTube, but I will post it, or I can maybe private, and I'll send it to you privately. I just won't post it publicly. Yeah, I sure can. Yep. And so just shoot me a message later, you know, or like after tomorrow, and just say, hey, shoot me that recording, and I will remember to do that.
And that's for everybody, right?
Yeah, anybody could send me that request. Yes. Yes. I won't put it out there publicly for all, but if you request that, I'll certainly make sure you get the recording. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for participating, and it was nice, and it was a lighter load tonight, and I didn't have to do verbal gymnastics and try to wind my way through a talk tonight, and it kind of helped me get me back on my feet here. Wondering, I see a doctor Friday, so we'll figure this out. I think it was some of these kids have poisoned me, or they've done something to me. It's obviously one of you guys, so could be.
Yes, and a lot of people have been asking about your health, Art, and so let's clarify that he has a doctor's appointment on Friday. You know, a lot of things have been ruled out, but hopefully on Friday we'll have something to grab onto, and it's
definitely going to be. It's going to be definitely tied back to the fact that I'm surrounded by addicts. Yeah, it's going to, something has to be tied back to that. There's no way anyone can endure my lifestyle and not go crazy.
Sleep deprivation.
That's definitely some of it. So today I didn't get much sleep. It was rough. How'd the World Series go? It's great. I went deep in, somebody asked, I went deep in the first 3 events I played. I cashed in and went pretty deep. But you're down there with the greatest players in the world, and there's a reason they're great. And it's very tough. I love it. I'm hopefully going to get back to work here for a week or 2 and get back down there for another couple of weeks and see if I can do better. But it's a great challenge, and it really lights up your brain, and it really is hard work, and it helps, and it's so fun. And I can't wait to get back down and see how I do. So thank you for asking. I just want to thank everyone, and it was a great get back on our feet talk, and thank you for all participating, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.